For more on this, let's turn to Texas Republican Congressman Michael Burgess, who also happens to be a medical doctor. Congressman, welcome.
Good deal. Thanks, Mike, for having me on.
How are things in your district and in greater North Texas following the very difficult power outage, extreme weather across Texas this week?
Well, there's still a lot of people who are hurting. I mean, the good news is the temperature is back up, and it's Texas. Will be 70, 80 degrees by the middle of the week. Water supply is a big issue. A lot of pipes froze. I guess it was hard getting word out that people needed to perhaps consider turning the water off at their apartment or their house. And as a consequence, a tremendous amount of damage from that, and then the subsequent water damage. So that will be, those uninsured losses obviously will be helped by the disaster declaration. And we are, as a delegation, we are pushing to extend that from 77 counties to all 254 counties in the state of Texas, because it was literally a statewide disaster.
For folks watching across your state, is it best advice still to boil water just to make sure the water's good to go?
Well, really, the different municipal water districts are issuing those orders. So it depends upon where you are. Problem is, when the pressure dropped from all of the pipes bursting and all the water leaving the system, the difficulty is you can allow things in that normally would be kept out, and that's where the boil report comes from. But my understanding is many of those are getting back up. They're bringing the pressure back up so that those boil orders are going to be expiring in a great number of the areas where they currently are.
Is it your assessment that Texas failed to winterize your energy infrastructure properly? Is that a central cause of all this?
It's one of the causes, to be sure. And it's multifactorial. I mean, back in 2011, people remember the Dallas Super Bowl, or the Arlington Super Bowl, where the ice storm had hit, but we encountered a very similar situation in 2011. I remember Governor Perry saying that he was going to build several new coal-fired electrical generating plants to boost redundancy in the system. He was rebuffed by the mayors of the large cities, and in fact, that never happened. But I guess the bigger question is, were the other parts of winterization, were those followed through? I've got a natural gas compression plant not too far from my house. The understanding is that the temperature in those compression plants got too low for the machinery to work properly. But how in the world, if you're pumping natural gas, how do you not have energy available to heat your facility? So those are some of the things that are going to have to be asked, have to be answered. A lot of people want to talk about changing the grid structure. Look, to be perfectly honest, it would not have made a big difference. The important thing is we've got to be able to harden those facilities so that they can indeed deal with cold winters. We have cold winters in Texas, not many, but we do. About every 8 to 10 years, we'll have something like this, and every 100 years, we'll have something on the scale that affects the entire state.
To the $1.9 trillion COVID relief package lawmakers in the House should be considering this week. Buried in there, we found, about $100 million for Bay Area rapid transit, about another $1 billion for other similar transportation projects, approximately $200 million for museums and libraries, approximately $270,000 for combined arts and humanities endowments. Congressman, why did the Democrats put those in there?
Well, look, it's not just Democrats. Unfortunately, that's one of the hazards of having a bill this big. And look, in your previous segment, you talked about nutritional assistance. Yeah, I'll be happy to talk about nutritional assistance, but let's not be building an underground railroad through Silicon Valley. So those are and here's another thing that people are not really focusing on. The Democrats, in their rules package this year, gave themselves a pass until April 1st. They don't have to go through regular standard order for anything. So the pressure's really on to pass a big bill like this before anyone can actually scrutinize it at the committee level. And really, that's wrong. We should not do things that way. But, a year ago, when the crisis first hit, big bills, bipartisan bills were passed. Yep. March 27th, the CARES Act passed. So we can do this, but let's not make it harder than it has to be. Fix those things that need to be fixed, and then we'll come back and debate the other things later.
Congressman Michael Burgess, our best to you and the great people of Texas. Thank you, sir.
Great. Thanks, Mike.